Hey guys, how's it going? James here. And this is a bit of a different video to just any of the gaming videos. I know I had this on my mind for a little bit, and I know like I don't do this sort of thing, so it's probably not going to be put together very well. But I wanted to talk about some things that I wish I saw in Horizon 6 and that either hopefully can come to the game later on or will be in the game for the next one. Um, Now, I don't have a script, so I'm just going off of little notes I've got here. I've got a few. Hopefully, it doesn't take too long. But yeah, the thing I want to start with is events. I'm talking about the wristband events. Um, Now, I do actually feel like, whilst Horizon 5, I still do think, and I'm sure as many of us do, is the worst Horizon out of all of them. But I do think the Horizon events, like the ones you did to unlock the Horizon festivals for that, I did actually think they were quite, I think they were better than what we've got in Horizon 6, especially because I think every one in Horizon 6 is just a race. I mean, the mech one's cool, but it's like, it's still at the end of that, it's just, they're all races, whereas in Horizon 5, there was one where you were like racing the storm and you had to like do these challenges and stuff. I'm pretty sure, also, like, call me out if I get anything wrong during this, if I say something that's not right, because my memory isn't great or I just wouldn't know. So call me out in the comments and can't pin comments, but like it up. But yeah, Horizon 5, you had like this full jungle one, and they had like this action scene when you fell down into the cave. They just don't have that in Horizon 6. A lot of them are races. And I mean, one of them's about, with the rocket. I'm only up to the rocket one now in the actual game. I haven't done it yet, but I've watched, people run through it and whatnot. You don't even like see the rocket. It's just another race with the planes. You race the planes twice. It's just, in a different setting. Okay, so I just want to go back over the top of this because, like I said, I hadn't done the rocket event. I just went back and watched the video because I was just curious if I got it right. The rocket doesn't actually even do anything. You're just doing a stunt event around the rocket. Like, I thought like maybe like the rocket would take, like, what could have been cool is if the rocket like takes off at the start and you watch it take off as you like drive underneath it. And then maybe you had like TVs on the side that had like little like, playing like inside the rocket, or like, or maybe like you're hearing like astronauts' voices or something. Um, but it literally just is another stunt event with planes. Um, yeah. And then in the final one, it's basically, I believe it was going through all like the past cars with hosts. But like, why wasn't that like a cutscene or something where, you talking in all the cars? Like, I just feel like it could have been more visually better. And you look at them now, and they're just all races. And another, what I think could have been good is there's one where you race down a snowy mountain in a rally car. And I thought, why not race like an avalanche? Why not have, you have to escape the avalanche as it's all coming down? I feel like that could have been, a really good idea. Like, fighting the weather just like in Horizon 5 when you were chasing the storm and whatnot. Something else has crossed my mind also later into editing this. But in another storyline they could have done sort of for one of the things is Mela really brings it up in one of her like club cruises, talks of like a monster. I can't remember what she was referencing, but she said like, oh, it's not true or anything. But what if it was like one of the things where you're in a, because I'm surprised there's literally no like caves or mines whatsoever. I know Japan isn't like known for, I think it's more of like a China thing, like mining and all that. But I think, there's literally no caves whatsoever in the Japan map that I know of. And I think that maybe, you could have gone through or looked, or maybe even just in the snow area, you could have looked for like I don't know, some sort of like possible monster or whatnot. And then, that could have been its own storyline. I think that could have been pretty good for that as well. But yeah, I just feel like that could have been a little bit better. Anyways, moving on. AI players. All right, so this is something where I wish they had a connection to, because you do all like the races and stuff. I wish you had a connection to the other races in the game because they keep the same names. That's why like what was it, Bowie Knife 99. That's why everyone talked about him, because everyone had him in their races, because all the AI names, I'm pretty sure all of them, they stay the same. And I wish that that was like a part of the story, because it's just such a easy thing where if they just gave them actual names, then it was something like maybe you were trying to battle the other ones, and it was like you're trying to get more points than them or something, and like that was a part of the story. Because it's always like, I know in the last game it was you're already a big superstar and whatnot, but even in the other games when you started out at the bottom and you're trying to show yourself, it only felt like it was just you. You were the only new person there because you didn't know anyone else doing that sort of stuff. So I feel like if the other AIs had names and they actually had characters, they didn't have to have a crazy amount of lore, but like if they were like actual other people that you were fighting against to build this reputation to be built up to the big stage, I feel like that could be something that's really interesting, really cool. Just another quick thing that's come to mind when I'm reading back at this. In Forza Horizon 3, I remember exactly how it went, but I remember it happening. There was one guy you spoke to and you raced him, and I think if you won, you got his RX-7, I believe is what it was. I don't remember what happens if you lose, because I remember I got the RX-7. But that was a really good, like, I don't know why, but it just came to mind as that was a memorable character, and that story was memorable because it's like you're racing for each other's car or something. I can't remember, but yeah, you win, you get his car. So I wish they did more like rival stuff like that. The next thing is map. Now, whilst the Japan map way better, Forza Horizon 5 map, but the only thing is, I just feel it's too open and just too like every game. Obviously, you want the map to be bigger and bigger and bigger, but it gets to the point where I feel like they're putting more effort into just the map's getting so big that they're just running out of things to put in it. Like you go back to Forza Horizon 3, each corner of the map, like it was less than half the size to my knowledge. It's like I think the whole map across is like 14 kilometers or something, where the Horizon map's like 30 or something close to it. But the thing is, they had a like a city section, they had a jungle section, they had a beach section, they had like desert section, they had like dry outback section, and they had like a suburban area. But like Japan, it just feels like the city needs more skyscrapers. I feel like it's really lacking skyscrapers, and I feel like the towns, like the little like area towns, they have to be bigger. I just feel like they're not big enough. They're too open. They just feel like, like Japan is known for like, how populated it is. It's known for its cities. It's known for its, nice towns and like, I don't know if you call them towns, but, like rural areas. And I just feel like it's just not captured in Forza. Don't get me wrong, the map looks amazing. It's beautiful. And I mean, the seasons are really cool, but I just wish there was more like, I just wish each section of the map, you go to a different part, it was that much different. Because I feel like you go to a different part and it kind of does look a little bit the same, And obviously each season it does change. Obviously everything looks a little bit different. But I think for the next game, realistically, we're happy with the map size. If we got a same size map for the next game, I feel like we wouldn't be disappointed because, like you look back to Forza Horizon 3, Forza Horizon 4, those maps are way small compared to the Horizon 6 map, but we were never bored of them. Like there was always just something to do in those maps. I feel like I've remembered literally catching myself just driving in the game because it was an enjoyable map to drive around. And I really hope for the next game they put more effort into the locations on the map rather than the map size. And also I just want to strike in the lack of being able to put in a straight highway. I don't get why you just can't put in a like they've got this big highway that goes around the whole map, but the straights just aren't long enough to get that full end top speed. There's always just some curve. And yeah, and also I do think, because I know Japan isn't known for its beaches, but I do think we could have had a little bit of a better beach for this map. But, anyways, moving on to the next section, 7 minutes in. All right. Music. Okay. I feel like this should be in. I think they had this in Horizon 3. I don't know, because I remember this thing called Mixer, but I could be entirely wrong. I never used it, and I think. But the ability to put your own music in. It's like, I don't understand why they can't just do something with Spotify or just some sort of like, I just wish you were able to play your own music. That's thing, like play it through the radio, play over the game. It's just because I actually don't have a problem. I've never had a problem with the music in Forza Horizon. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I actually have always thought it's fine because it's meant to be like radio music. I genuinely have never had a problem with how it sounds, but I know a lot of people do. And that's why I think We should add the option to play your own music over the festival and whatnot. And it's one of those things where I know Forza, it's rated, is it rated G, PG? I'm not sure. I think it's rated G because there's really nothing in it to not be. But I understand they don't want music with swearing. But it's like, if it's your music, then, you're going to choose the songs. So it doesn't really matter what's in them. But then also on top of that, I think they should also, if they do implement it, I think they should give you the option to be able to pick a radio host, because there's radio hosts in the game. Because I actually quite enjoy listening to, like, you'll complete a certain event or something, and then they'll have a line or something, they'll say something, and I actually am quite fond of that. I think that's pretty cool. So I think they should give you the option to just replace the songs in a radio, or like you create your own thing and then you can just select a different radio host, because the radio hosts don't actually say anything on the songs. Like, they'll say this song's up next and whatnot, but they won't ever actually say the name of the song. So I think they could just perfectly fine fit into just having any song play. So I think that could be a really, really cool thing, and I'm surprised it isn't already in the game. Car adjustments, this is a common thing. Mainly just like, I don't understand why we can't just change the ride height of our cars to really low. I mean, we're in Japan, known for like the VIP spec, where the cars are just slammed out. And I know it's one of those things where I just don't understand why we can't just slam our cars. Because I know Forza's meant to be like, high quality. Like, you don't want the cars to look crap because they're like slammed to the ground and they're being a bit buggy or whatnot. But it's one of those things where if people don't want their cars to look like crap, they just won't do it, But if people do want to have their cars slammed all the way to the ground, because I know a big thing is that you go too low, the wheels might glitch, like, phase through the bumper or whatnot, and you can see it. But then you just adjust it, you adjust it with camber. Like, that's like Car X. You see the cars in that fully slammed to the ground, but you never see them poking because it has so many adjustment options to, fix it, like the tires, all that stuff, in what was originally a mobile game, So, I just think that I'm surprised we don't have the option for it. And a thought I was having was maybe because Forza, they take into account all the adjustments you make to adjust, how the car performs. And I was thinking, if it goes too low, maybe it bugs the system or whatnot. But then I think maybe they should just do it in a point where it's like, if it's between a certain distance, it's just the same. The car just behaves the same. Like when you do the spacing on the wheels, you've only ever got like max 3 options to space out the wheels. It's like, why not just have like a glider that you can slide through to, adjust it wherever you want, but it only has 3 different sections of how the car performs or something? Because people, they won't care, it doesn't really matter. They just want good fitment on a car. And then also, I mean, it would be cool to have like, turbo boosting and all that stuff, like engine tuning, but is what it is. Walk around car meets. Yes. You've got a character, you design your character, but you can only ever just like, it's only ever in these cutscenes where the camera pans far away on the outside and there's just some people standing around talking and whatnot. And it's like, car meets, I mean, they're kind of dead because, I don't know, there's just no point to them. I mean, I've entered a few of those like car spot ones and there's never any other cars there. So I think for the meets, what should happen is I reckon you should be able to, as a player, select one car to show at meets. And basically, whenever you enter a meet, even if people aren't in that same meet, their selected car would show up in the meet, so it just doesn't seem dead. And those cars, when people do actually go in and join the meet, their car will be like replaced by someone who actually isn't in the meet. And then your ability to actually walk around, like you can walk around and look at other people's cars, with your characters. And they should add like, you can like talk to people. I don't know whether they'd add that because that would probably change the rating, being able to, have mics and stuff. I think that would be a big thing. Be able to like walk around first or third person, look at other cars, talk to other people in the game. Anyways, next. Avatars, yes. I don't know what it is, but they just look so off. Horizon's just avatars. I don't know what they do, but they look, just every single character just looks off and weird and just like, they don't really look human. I don't know how to explain it. They all look off. It's really weird. I don't know why Forza does it that way. Because, I mean, the characters in the original Forza game, if you've ever seen the trailers, they look fine, like they look normal. But the new ones, they look too realistic with like trying to capture all these like I don't know. They look off. They look off. So I think that needs to be changed. And I mean, the character selection as well, I think needs to be a little bit better because there's just I don't know. I just don't think it's very good, the characters. But then again, it's a car game. It's not based on characters. But I just do think that clothes selection, character selection, it could all just be a lot better than what it is. It's very, very not. I don't know. I just don't think it's that great as what it is. And I've got cutscenes here. Trying to remember what I wrote for that. I've got two things for that now that's come to my mind. One is when you're driving around with Anna, like she does auto drive. I think that the because you can do like a cinematic option where the camera will pan around the car. I think there should be better camera options for that. Like it should be like you're trying to get a roller. Like the camera should be still or something, and like not like stuck to the car where the car bounces around a little bit, but the camera like floats, if that makes sense. Like you're getting a roller. I think that should be more of those camera angles, and it shouldn't change so often. And then also cutscenes. I mean, just genuine actual cutscenes, because whenever you do like this story mode or something, it'll just be the group of people standing and then the cars around the outside, and the camera will just float around the outside. And I just feel like you don't really connect to the characters when it's just voice lines just staring at some characters standing there. Like I wish it was a genuine like I don't know, I just wish the cutscenes were a little bit better, I think. I don't know, I just feel like it went a little bit downhill. I mean, it's been like that ever since Horizon 3, where it's just characters standing. But I do think that it could be a lot better. Yeah. Also, just one last thing I've forgotten to throw in. I'm sure we all know about how many cars are missing from the car list. Like, I think over 300 cars are like gone, and they're probably just going to be recycled into the game like usual. But like, whilst I wish they were in the game from the start, it is what it is. But I'm thinking, why not, when you recycle them, why not give them more body parts? Why not give them more front bumpers? I mean, customization in this game is, nothing great. So why not, if they're out of the game, why not bring them back with something? New front bumpers, new rear bumpers, new spoilers, like a reason to bring them back in and not just leave them in the game, because it does just feel a bit bottom of the barrel to just recycle literally the same thing that came from the last game. So if you're going to bring something back in, why not, do it with some updates and upgrades? And I know this video has been a bit of a dump, but I do generally think Horizon 6 is so glad it is what it is. Like, it is not another Horizon 5. It has gone back to, its old pathways. I just do think that for how big the game is, there could have been some improvements. But other than that, like, there's literally no complaints. Like, even without these things, this game is still amazing. Like, I don't want to get them off as the wrong idea. These are just things that I, would wish for the games of future have, or future games to have. But, yeah. I think that basically sums up everything I want to say. Like I said, I've had no script, so it's a little bit all over the place, and I could be wrong on some notes. I would like to hear your opinions and anything else you'd like to be added, because I can always just make another video. But yeah.